From Las Vegas, CBS Sports presents the National Football League. Today, it's the Denver Broncos and the Las Vegas Raiders. And a pleasant good afternoon, everyone, with Trent Green and Melanie Collins on our sideline. Kevin Harlan, welcome to the Strip here in Vegas. We've got a first-place team tied with the Chiefs in Denver at 2-1, and we have them today taking on a very desperate, winless Raider team.
Well, that just tells you, Kevin, what the fine line is in the NFL. You got a Denver team that is just finding ways to win football games, is sitting at 2-1, and you have a Las Vegas team that has led in every game, but they're not finishing games. They've got to find a way to finish today.
All right, let's talk about the specific issues you're seeing with that Raider offense.
Well, I think it all starts with what the inconsistencies on offense. And, of course, you got to start with Derek Carr. He's put up such big numbers throughout his 9-year career, but you have to understand he's had 6 different head coaches in his 9-year career. Finding that consistency with Josh McDaniel and the offense, of course, the two main targets that he has, no Hunter Renfrow today, Devontae Adams, the big acquisition in the offseason, the big contract, and the huge week 1 numbers. Hasn't had that production the last 2 weeks. Darren Waller, he needs to be productive today. I think that's how they have to attack this Denver defense.
What does the tape tell you about the Denver Broncos, who've won 2 in a row?
Well, and that's the thing. They're finding ways to win football games. They're not as consistent on offense as they'd like to be. Their big offseason trade for Russell Wilson to come in and be that last piece to get this team going. It hasn't lived up to that so far, but they're finding ways to win. Cortland Sutton now, 2 years removed from that ACL injury, has put up some really big numbers. Jerry Jeudy, on the other hand, week 1 had some big numbers, but hasn't had the production the last couple of weeks. But this team, the reason they're tied for first in the AFC West is a dominant defense. They are in the top 5 in just about every defensive category. They put pressure on the quarterback. They get sacks. They're outstanding on 3rd down, and they're even better in the red zone. Why this team is 2-1 is that defense, Kevin.
Another full house, a lot of Bronco fans here in Vegas this afternoon. We've had the flip of the coin. Raiders won it, and they will receive with Abdullah and Bolden deep back. And to kick off for the 2-1 Denver Broncos will be Brandon McManus. Special teams have been kind of an issue for the Broncos last couple years. No longer. They seem to have things rectified. Brandon Bowen to the sideline. Let's welcome in Melanie Collins.
Thank you, Kevin. This week's been all about a reset for this Raiders team. On Tuesday, the captains held a players-only meeting in which Derek Carr told us the main message was, hey, we're a really good football team with a terrible record, but it's not time to hit the panic button. They stressed the importance of keeping their confidence and their passion high, but they felt very encouraged by the extra sense of urgency displayed at practice this week. Guys, they know this is essentially a must-win game for them.
It is. He is a captain. It's an important voice that he gives them in the locker room. There is a player down. Good block by Miller, the left tackle. Outside Adams, chased down by Jonas Griffith. And the gain down to the 22. It's a pickup of 8, and it's history tells you that 0-3, 0-4 is a very tough hole to dig out of.
Well, it is a tough hole to dig out of it, but you talk to the players, you talk to the coaches, they say, we understand the history of it. We're not worried about that. We're just trying to get better every week and find a way to win a game.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. The fully electric Audi e-tron family. And by New Balance. We got now.
Well, a story coming into this one, of course. Josh McDaniels got his first NFL head coaching job back in 2009 with the Broncos. Won his first 6 games. Finished, though, the 2009 season 8-8, and then went 3-9 in 2010. Eventually fired. He has not won a game as a head coach in the NFL since November of 2010.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by Subway. Try the Subway Series menu. 12 irresistible subs.
Well, the Raiders won both meetings with the Broncos last season. 10-point win in Denver week 6. 4-point win here in Vegas week 16. Cortland Sutton gets his first touchdown reception of the season. Wilson out of the end zone. And out to the 25 with the 1st and 10. The NFL family has come together to support Hurricane Ian recovery efforts. Visit NFL.com/auction to bid on authentic and game-worn items and support the American Red Cross's Hurricane Ian relief efforts. You can also visit redcross.org/NFL or text the word Ian to 90999 to make a $10 donation and help those in need. Broncos have scored their second first-half touchdown of the season. They get a field goal right there.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Domino's. Get great deals on pizza, bread twists, chicken, desserts, and more. Geico. For bundling made easy, go to geico.com. And by Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Well, as the NFL continues to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, we'd like to recognize Tom Flores, a 2021 Pro Football Hall of Fame inductee, who was the NFL's first minority head coach to win a Super Bowl. Well, Trent on Wednesday set sail across the Mediterranean with real singles on the romantic adventure of a lifetime. Rebecca Romaine and Jerry O'Connell host the new dating competition, The Real Love Boat. Premiering Wednesday here on CBS.
You never know, Kevin.
There's no Captain Stubing. Jerry O'Connell and Rebecca Romaine.
Second down.
That is on Dalton Reisner out of Kansas State.
Speaking of numbers, here it is right here. Melvin Gordon, you can see he and Javonte Williams, the number of snaps, touches, and yards. Javonte involved in the passing game a little bit more than what Melvin is, but in terms of handoffs and carries, they're just about even.
Broncos and a timeout. We're at the 2-minute warning. Russ, a touchdown pass for Denver.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Tostitos. Bring home the win with everyone's favorite chip and dip. And by the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Well, nothing more Las Vegas than that sign and that guy. Kind of looks like Rex Ryan there getting married. For the lead. Drills it. Zeros on the clock. Raiders by 3. Halftime is here. The winless Las Vegas Raiders have gone up on the Denver Broncos and Russell Wilson by 3. Halftime next after these first half highlights from Verizon and a word from your local CBS station. Back in Las Vegas, Raiders got a field goal just before halftime to take a 3-point lead. Russell Wilson has thrown 2 touchdown passes in the first half. We've seen a defensive touchdown by Las Vegas. What are your thoughts on the first 30 minutes of football?
Well, this game has kind of lived up to what we thought it was going to be, right? It's a division AFC West game. Both teams have been going at it. We've had good and bad play. We've had a couple of kickers miss extra points, which we don't normally see out of these two teams. But we're going to take a look at some of the highlights here from the first half. And really, when you consider the Raiders, they had some good things going. Melvin Gordon, only 1 carry on the day. That turned into a fumble and a return for touchdown. And then Russell Wilson has been on fire with the strike to Jerry Jeudy up the seam. We have a tie game here at half, but look at the numbers by Russell Wilson. 11 of 12, 149, those 2 touchdowns. And Derek Carr is not playing bad either. Just hasn't had the touchdown production that Russell Wilson has.
Wilson finishing that first half 11 of 12, hit his last 8 to close out the half. The touchdown pass is 5 yards to Sutton. And then he got a 20-yard touchdown pass to Jerry Jeudy. The opening kickoff of the second half is in and out of the end zone. And a touchback, Mel, to the 25. Take it away.
Well, Kevin, both coaches had a similar message for me at the half. Nathaniel Hackett told me he's happy with the way his offense is moving the ball. He said we've got to limit turnovers, and the biggest key defensively is stopping the Raiders on early downs. Josh McDaniels told me the key for us is first down. We've got to stay out of second and third and long because that's where the Broncos defense excels. Also, guys, linebacker Denzel Perriman out of this game with a concussion.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Chipotle. For real. Bud Light, who reminds you to drink responsibly. And by Lowe's. Let's tackle home together this year.
Well, it looks very inviting, doesn't it? If you ever need to get away from the Strip here in Vegas, you can always take a kayak tour down the beautiful Colorado River. Yeah, running complete and back of Adams. Surtain was there. Let's go to Nate Burleson in our CBS studios in New York.
All right, Aaron Rodgers sniffing the end zone. In the slot, he finds Robert Tonyan, the big fella, big body. 20-yard touchdown, the Packers. They have the lead 14-10. Back to the crew, Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, and Melanie Collins.
It's week 4 in the National Football League and a lot of headlines from the first section of the day. How about the Buffalo Bills coming back in Baltimore? They were down and they scored 20 to win it. Jalen Hurts has been sensational, undefeated right now in Philadelphia. Cowboys with another win. They won Monday in New York. Vikings in London beat the Saints on a weird finish with the double boink, or doink, or oink, whatever you want. Las Vegas after this with Derek Carr.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the all-new Burger King Royal Crispy Chicken lineup, only at Burger King. And by Tide. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide.
I think that's Fremont Street. I'm not certain. Yes, it is. From the 20, the punt was in the end zone. A touchback out to the 20-yard line. And here we go. Jacobs in. They get by Munford. And the catch at the 10 made by Adams. So Adams picks up 8. Let's take you to New York. JB and Nate.
Patriots mastermind loves these kind of games, Nate.
That's right, down by 4. Bailey Zappi, little play action fake, and then wide open. Devontae Parker skates on in for the touchdown. Patriots lead 17-14.
Back to Kevin Harlan.
Talk about that when we come back. Back downstairs to Mel.
Kevin, this week the Raiders hosted 300 first responders at Allegiant Stadium in appreciation of the valiant efforts they display every day. Members of the Raiders front office joined players and cheerleaders in saluting these heroes as the community observes the 5-year commemoration of the 1 October tragedy here in Las Vegas. And earlier today, the Raiders invited more than 200 first responders to hold the Vegas Strong flag as part of the pregame ceremony. And of course, our thoughts continue to be with the families of the 58 lives lost that day. Kevin.
Yes, it is a big theme here in Las Vegas, and rightly so. Team to New York, James and Nate.
23 unanswered for the Cardinals.
That's right. Keep your eyes on the slot. That's Marquise Hollywood Brown. Or maybe since he's playing for the Arizona Cardinals, it's Marquise Scottsdale Brown. Anyway, it's a touchdown. Cardinals lead 26-10 after a 2-point conversion failed.
Back to Kevin Harlan.
The 4th.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by KFC. Family style, your style. That's finger licking good. Northwestern Mutual. And by Verizon, the network America relies on.
That's some great quarterbacks that have competed in this rivalry, and that now includes Russell Wilson, who today is 14 of 18, 163, 2 touchdown passes. Derek Carr, 20 of 32, 171. Jacobs, 110 on the ground. Devontae Adams, 8 catches for 84. 25. All right, CBS Sports continues to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month, and here, great call, Nelson Fernandez, with a call from earlier in this game, and it is a beauty.
Y hacia adelante. ¡Oh, fumble! ¡Fumble! Y los Raiders se quedan con el balón.
Touchdown is the same in every language. 1st and 10. Robertson wraps him up. It's a gain of the yard to the 26 as we gain New York with James and Nate.
Nate, is there a theatrical theme here between the Packers and the England Patriots?
Oh, Romeo, wherefore art thou, Romeo? Oh, yeah, he's in the end zone. That's a back shoulder fade from Aaron Rodgers. The game is knotted at 24.
Kevin, you knew he was going to deliver.
So the kick is good. It's a 2-point game with 7:16 to go. Next Sunday, Week 5 of the NFL on CBS features the Steelers and Bills clashing in Orchard Park. Plus an AFC East divisional matchup, the Dolphins and the Jets. As always, we get the day started with JB and the guys at noon Eastern on the NFL Today. The NFL is on CBS. Wilson. You can tell there's a more comfortable feel in the offense, and the bigger plays that we were so used to seeing with Wilson in Seattle, we're seeing today with Denver.
Well, we definitely saw it in the first half. They had a lot of production, 2 touchdowns in passing in the first half, and the completion percentage, I think only 1 incompletion in the first half. Third quarter, as we just noted, they didn't really do much of anything, only 17 yards on 14 plays.
Big Sunday starts tonight on CBS with 60 Minutes. Then 2 action-packed premieres. First, The Equalizer is back with an all-new season, followed by the premiere of the new CBS drama, East New York.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Papa John's new Papa Pairings. Order more favorites for less. And by Corona Extra. Find the fine life. Live La Vida Más Fina.
Beautiful shot of Vegas. Raiders on top 32-23. Broncos, if you look ahead here, they need at least 2 scores, don't they, huh?
Well, and considering with 2 timeouts left, you want to get down. Because they need the 2 scores, go down, get the field goal. Unless you get a big play and you're in position to get the touchdown. In prime time next week, the Broncos have a short week against Indianapolis at home on Thursday, and then the Chiefs go to Kansas, or the Raiders go to Kansas City on Monday night.
So the Denver Broncos will fall to 2-2 and watch with interest in Kansas City's game tonight against Tampa. And the Raiders are going to go to 1-3. Jacobs, a career high on the ground, 144 yards for Trent Green and Melanie Collins. Kevin Harlan saying goodbye from Las Vegas. The Raiders have beaten the Broncos 32-23, taking you to New York and James.
All right, Kevin, so of course they get their first win there.